Good morning, Unity. I want to start this service with a very important question. Are you ready? Do you like Star Wars? Raise your hand if you like Star Wars. I know not everyone likes Star Wars. So there's enough people in here. Okay. So if you don't like Star Wars, think about a movie or a time when you were going to see something that you were really excited about. Star Wars came out and I was about 10. Everyone was very excited about it. I was the youngest of four, and all my older siblings were very excited to see it, and of course, that built some enthusiasm within me. My best friends were allowed to see it, and they got to see it, and I didn't. I know. That was really good. Can you do that again? Oh, yeah. All I knew was I couldn't see Star Wars, and my best friends came home having seen it, and they were over the moon with it. They were so excited about it. And you know, at that age, you play Star Wars, right? Exactly. Lightsabers, pew, 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 pew. No, I hadn't seen it. So, of course, they gave me the role that I was supposed to be. I was the Stormtrooper. And it sounded pretty cool. They're in all white. Yeah, they have this great armor. I'm like, all right, cool. And then, yeah, we're just Jedis. Well, you can imagine how that game played out. No, John, sorry, you're dead again. What? What it built in me was this excitement and anticipation for this movie. I was so excited about it. I had this great positive anticipation for what could happen. And I tell you, when I first went, it did not disappoint. The first time I went, it was just amazing. You have to understand, this was groundbreaking cinematography for that age. It was amazing. And I came out of it just blown away. And I was thinking about this idea of Star Wars and this anticipation that I felt, because our talk is Come Alive and Thrive in 2025. Now, this is the theme for the year for us. And I remember this came to me after our Whitestone service, and people were really excited. And you know what most of the people said? We really need to thrive. It's interesting how everyone kind of dropped off the come alive part. Because thriving is an experience and a result of coming alive. Thriving is the result of being in that place of spirit, of living into your purpose. And so today we're going to talk about what come alive really means. An interesting quote by Eric Butterworth. This is from Discover the Power Within You. He said, within the very nature of people, every person, there is stored up substance or divine energy, like the coal in the earth, which may be stirred up and released to illuminate lives and to light the way. So that is a beautiful expression of what coming alive is. Within us, there are all of the natural resources that you need. Within us, there's all of the energy that you need, the substance that you need, all of the divine intelligence that you need, but we need to stir it up. And just like that natural resource in the earth, before we can harness it or use it, we first have to have a little bit of knowledge, yes? And that knowledge then we put to use, and we start to have innovation. We start to create things to help use this natural resource. And that takes dedication. It takes practice. It takes perseverance sometimes. Then we have to refine that natural resource. And then we have to use that natural resource, and we learn more things. This is a great example of what it means to come alive within us. Because we have all of these natural resources within us, we're just not quite sure how to use them. We have all these natural resources within us, and this may be a new idea for you, so this is new knowledge, new information. We have to learn what that means. We take in this knowledge and we start to intellectualize it. So as we practice and as we dedicate, then there's refinement. We start to embody it more. We start to tweak it a little bit so it makes sense to me. Because I can say something and the words might not quite be right for you. So it's an opportunity for you to refine that idea and allow it to work within you so that you can embody this idea of coming alive. There's a certain sense of responsibility on our own parts when we have the knowledge and the understanding, well, now it's up to me. I can't really blame, well, I do, but I can't really blame all the people out there. I have the resources within me to be present in the situation, to be my best self, to live on purpose, to express that goodness that I am. Your amazingness. You are amazing. It just takes us a little bit of time to draw that out. Now, there will be setbacks along the way. And when there's a setback, you just go back to knowledge, right? You start back at the top. Okay, what am I missing here? What integral component do I need to keep going forward? And along the way, there will be emotional reactions. Anybody ever have an emotional reaction? Okay, I'm talking to my people here. Just a few. I'm going to reframe the daily word today. I'm going to change it to a positive anticipation. When we have a positive anticipation like I did with Star Wars, there were no expectations. Have you watched a movie and then another movie came out, part 2, and where are your expectations if you really loved it? Way up here. You expect it to be this way. And what happens if it falls short? Oh, it's movie number 2 is never any good. I know with Star Wars, I do think, episode 5 is one of my favorites. That's true. However, episode 1, I'm not going to go into episode 1. When we set expectations, we're setting ourselves up for sorrow, for disappointment. Yeah, because we are expecting someone out there to be a certain way, or something out there to be a certain way. Our expectations that we have about the world is what's causing us the struggle. Instead, if we looked at it just simply from the standpoint of a positive anticipation, we're not setting a specific requirement. When we set positive expectations, we're expecting things and people and situations out there to be the way we want them to be. When we set a positive anticipation, we're simply looking for that good out there in whatever comes up. We're not demanding something look the way I want it to look. We're simply looking for what's going to lift me up. There's the difference. And when we have those emotional reactions, here's what I want you to know. All emotions are okay. Everyone take a nice deep breath. Because so often we're talking about, well, we have to get over our fears. I can't have any more fear. But fear is our friend. I did a talk on that a while ago because real fear, when the saber-toothed tiger's running at you, you need that fear to get moving, right? All of the fake fears, or what I like to call faux fears, are all of the fears that we're creating by our stories. Our faux fears are a great friend to us because they illuminate the belief, the myth, the message that we have been carrying around our life, that false belief of who we are or how the world is supposed to be, and that's what creates that faux fear. So every fear that you have is fine, and it's wonderful. They're friends of yours because they can tell you what is lingering behind them that's causing the challenge. So when we stop making our emotions bad, we can then say, oh, here's my friend fear. What is it that's behind it that's driving this? Is this real? Is it imagined? And allowing myself to deal with what's behind it, the root cause, rather than the symptom of fear. So our goal is to make friends with our emotions. The author Louise Hay once said, I do not fix problems. I fix my thinking. Then problems fix themselves. Our thinking is what lies behind all of our disappointments and our resentments and our unforgiveness. So when we look at it from that perspective and move into that place and work with those ideas, then we're able to shift out of our resentments. One thing that we can do is focus on courage. Courage that's based on love rather than courage that's based on resentment. You see, courage can go either way. If we are driven by resentment, we're willing to go into things that we would not normally do, but in a way that's disempowering, in a way that's destructive, in a way that hurts other people and hurts ourselves. But when we use courage from the aspect of love, of willingness, then we're looking at it from the perspective of, I'm going to move my feet and be the best person that I can be in this situation and use my voice in the best way I can use the voice in the best way possible so that it uplifts humanity, so that it uplifts myself. Courage and willingness. A willingness to forgive. Forgiveness comes over time and time and time of letting go and letting go and letting go. Willingness is the key. If I say I'm just willing to forgive, then that puts me in that state of forgiveness. If I'm willing to understand somebody, then that puts us in connection with one another. And it takes us out of our blame, shame, and guilt mode. So what would your life be like if you had a positive anticipation for the day? If you woke up and went into this day with a positive anticipation, not an expectation, because as soon as you turn on the news, as soon as you talk to your loved ones, as soon as you talk to your colleagues, that expectation is going to go out the window. I do think expectations are very powerful for me when I'm setting expectations about me. I love this with my kids, and it works so well. I set the expectation, okay, we're going to do one more thing, and then we're going to end. Oh, they complain, but then we do the one more thing, and then they're done. They're done because we set that expectation. And when I don't hold up my end of the bargain with expectations, oh, they let me know. So can I hold myself accountable for how I show up? That's where expectations are very helpful. What would your life be like? Instead of holding expectations for other things or other situations, you woke up and had an anticipation of some good in your life, had an anticipation of some ray of hope or sunshine or joy or abundance. What would your life be like if you entered into the day with that idea? Where am I going to find it? Where am I going to see it? Tune into the sunrise, the little children, the laughter, the rain, the birds. Drink it all in. There is no way to happiness. Happiness is the way. So in all of our stress and struggles, the choice of happiness is for us to decide that we're going to be happy. Decide that I'm going to step into this day and look for the beauty in it. And look for the good and hold myself accountable for expressing that good. What would your life be like if you were able to tune in to the beauty around you? Not the expectation of, that rose was so beautiful yesterday, I want to go out and see it again, and all of a sudden, because of the cold or the rain, it's lost a lot of its petals, it's not as beautiful anymore, our expectations are trashed. Anybody experience something like that? So instead of that, I'm just here to go appreciate the rose for being a rose in whatever stage it's in. What would your life be like if you could tune into the activity of spirit, the energy that's flowing through you, rather than where you think the stresses and strains are? Because that's our habit. Getting up in the morning and think, oh my gosh, I have so much to do. How am I going to do this? How am I going to get this done? How am I going to get that done? And then thinking 3 weeks ahead. Instead, waking up and saying, okay, here I am. I'm in the energy of spirit. Because those things don't change, right? What changes is us. So when we wake up in the morning, we set the tone for the day. We're not hooked in by all of the drama. We're moving forward with energy and joy, and we're choosing happiness. So our practice, you can write this down. Each morning this week, what I'd like to offer you is to wake up first and give thanks. Thank you for this breath. Thank you for this opportunity for me to live into spirit. Thank you for the enthusiasm and the creativity that I'm going to have today. Thank you for the joy and happiness that I'm going to express to other people. And create a positive anticipation of what your day is going to be. What would your life be like if you stirred up that life energy and substance every morning? Fun, joyful, playful, open, lighthearted, maybe creative. Maybe being able to see, okay, here's what's happening in the world today, here's where I'm at, and how can I be a beneficial presence to the world? rather than dragging myself under the bus as it's running by? What would life be like if we tuned in and stirred up the life energy and substance within us and expressed that in your life today? So there's your challenge, your 7-day challenge. Please feel free to email me and let me know what you think. Absolutely. Tell me, how did it go? Where were your roadblocks? We can work through those. Because when we tune into spirit, there is nothing that cannot be overcome. Let's move to our affirmation. I'm going to affirm this. Read it once. It's a long one. You ready? So this affirmation comes almost directly from a letter that Myrtle Fillmore, one of the co-founders of the Unity Movement, wrote in 1929. This was in response to a prayer request that came to her, and this is a part of the letter that she wrote. And I thought it's a beautiful affirmation for us. Spiritual life and spiritual substance permeate my whole being and supply my system with all of the elements I need. Change the you to I. All of the elements I need. All my ways are ways of life, joy, love, health, and peace. Today is the day for you to learn the secrets of life. You can change your life for the better. You already have the tools within you to do so. These tools are your thoughts and your beliefs. Today is the day. Today is the day to come alive. To allow that spiritual substance, that divine intelligence to be who you are, rather than succumbing to the stories, the fears, the faux fears.